5 out of 7 speakers are right at the same time. When consensus gets this tight, the move accelerates. Right now, the S&P 500 is at 7,383.7, the 92nd percentile for the past year. Historically, the S&P at this level has historically marked a regime inflection. Snider says the eurodollar system is tightening and nobody sees it. The dollar analyst says the dollar will surge as global liquidity contracts, crushing everything else. In the next few minutes, I will show you who the data says is right and what it means for your money this month. Seven speakers made their calls. Here is who the data agrees with today. Score 1 for the commodity analyst. Commodity supercycle. Oil agrees at $94. 170-day streak. Gammon called it. Credit will blow out. Yield curve at 0.38% confirms it. 3 days running, Snider's dollar liquidity crisis call is paying off. Yield curve at 0.38% and trending their direction. 3 days running. The dollar analyst is right and the data keeps proving it. The dollar index at 100. 3 days running, the volatility expert is right and the data keeps proving it. VIX at 15.4. 3 days running. Too early to call McElroy right or wrong. The thesis is building but not confirmed. 169-day streak. Too early to call Hartman right or wrong. The thesis is building but not confirmed. 163-day streak. Score today, 5 right, 2 early, 0 wrong. This much agreement usually means the next move is fast. Watch the signals, not the opinions. Today's big question, everyone agrees on dollar, so who's wrong? Snider says the eurodollar system is tightening and nobody sees it. The dollar analyst says the dollar will surge as global liquidity contracts, crushing everything else. Everyone agrees. In markets, that is usually the setup for a reversal. The crowd is most confident right before the data breaks against them. Here's what the data says. The dollar index at 194th percentile, gold at $4,325. 53rd percentile, down 0.3% today. Bitcoin at about $63,000. First percentile, down 0.4% today. Bottom line, everyone agrees. The data hasn't broken yet. History says watch for the reversal. If the dollar index breaks below 99, the milkshake theory loses its legs. Right now it is at 100. If gold and Bitcoin both rally while the dollar holds, the liquidity thesis is wrong. The dollar index at 100 is in the 94th percentile, reversal territory. If it drops below the 75th, the thesis weakens fast. Gold at $4,325. We'll track it daily on the scoreboard. None of the 7 are talking about this next signal, and they should be. The S&P 500 just dropped 2.6% to 7,383.7. That's the 92nd percentile, extreme territory. Historically, the S&P at this level has historically marked a regime inflection. None of the 7 are talking about this. Keep it on your radar. Phase 1 is the good times, but good times do not last forever. Here is how close we are to the edge. We are 76 basis points away from Phase 2, the phase where credit breaks and volatility spikes. There is no acceleration in credit stress yet, but we are watching the pace, not just the level. The trigger, investment grade spread crossing 150 basis points. Currently at 74 basis points. At this week's pace, that is roughly 76 weeks of runway. That is late November. Phase 1 means risk on is working. Equities, commodities, and real estate all benefit from loose conditions. Enjoy it while it lasts. For context, the last time credit stress built like this, credit spreads blew out and high-yield bonds saw drawdowns of 15%. The credit and rates layer has initial jobless claims, CFNAI flashing red. Gammon says, the Fed is breaking things and credit spreads will blow out. The data agrees with that assessment. Phase 1 holds with 76 basis points of buffer. Conditions favor risk but do not get complacent. Wall Street trades the index. We trade the ground. Here is what the ZIP level data is screaming about today. TX, days on market, is spiking in Borger. Days on market in Borger move plus 100% in 30 days, now 187 days. Buyer leverage score, 57,100. Days on market is the cleanest leading indicator we have. Big swings mean liquidity is changing fast. OH, days on market is spiking in Canton. Days on market in Canton move plus 100% in 30 days, now 107 days. Buyer leverage score, 37,100. Days on market is the cleanest leading indicator we have. Big swings mean liquidity is changing fast. Beaufort County, SC. Payment burden is past the breaking point. Sheldon, SC. Median home about $2,321,000 on about $117,000 household income. Price-to-income ratio, 19.9. When the math stops working, sellers find out before buyers do. These are not hand-picked metros. They are the loudest signals in the housing data right now, chosen by the numbers, not the narrative. Today's debate asked, everyone agrees on dollar, so who's wrong? Let me show you what happened the last time we were here. Bitcoin at about $63,000 is in the first percentile. That means it is lower than 99 out of 100 days in the past year. In 2022, Bitcoin fell from 69,000 to 16,000 as the Fed tightened and crypto leverage unwound. In 2020, Bitcoin crashed 50% in March, then rallied 1,500% over 18 months. In 2018, Bitcoin dropped 84% from its peak as the speculative cycle ended. Different environments, different catalysts, but every time the resolution came fast. The pattern is not the level, it is the speed of the move once it starts. Meanwhile, the dollar index at 100 is in the 94th percentile. The last time both Bitcoin and the dollar index were at these levels simultaneously, the resolution came within weeks. That is why the scoreboard matters. It tells you which speakers saw it coming and which ones missed it. If history rhymes, Snider should be paying close attention because the clock is ticking on this pattern. Here is what the data says to do right now. Stay alert on VIX. It is dropping 4.1% today. Fast moves demand attention. Avoid Phoenix at 41% payment burden. That is stretched territory. Watch the S&P 500. It dropped 2.6% and nobody is talking about it. 5 out of 7 speakers are right. The commodity analyst, Gammon, Snider, the dollar analyst, and the volatility expert. When this many align, the trend usually has legs. Every signal is live at analyze.builderslens.com. The talking heads give you opinions. We give you the numbers. Subscribe and I will see you tomorrow morning with a fresh scoreboard.